Today I want to challenge the Gotham chess bot. Somebody hinted me that this bot usually plays the bishop's opening with white in an effort to play Lichess Vienna Gambit. But I'm yet to find out, as this is my first time playing this bot, which was trained to play like our beloved international master Ruy Lopez Gotham chess. So without wasting much of your time, let me give it a try and see how Gotham will handle my Fianchetto Gambit. Let's go! So I'm actually playing black pieces in this game and g6, hoping to see d4. Bishop c4, just like my friend hinted me. It seems like this bot was programmed to play the bishop's opening with white pieces most of the times. So let me go pawn to f5. The idea is to play d5 after fe. Yep, so fe, pawn to d5, attacking the bishop. Okay, bishop check, I can just play c6 here. And for those of you guys who are watching, this is the consequence of only knowing one opening. Say the bishop's opening in this case. I know Ruy Lopez is more flexible than I am, and I believe he would have played d4 on the second move against my modern defense. Anyway, I always play queen d6 to stop bishop f5 in some lines and also protecting my g6 pawn. So there we see knight to f3. I think here I can just develop my knight, right? Yeah, like knight h6 makes a lot of sense, since if fg I have bishop g4 coming, pinning the knight. Even after pawn to h3 I can just develop my king's knight. So sometimes my bishop goes to h6, but in this case knight h6 looks better. So knight h6, triple attacking the f5 pawn. Okay, there we see fg. Then yeah, I can just take with my h pawn, h takes g6, knowing that I have bishop f5 on the next move. Castle short seems to be a mistake. Yeah, because I have knight g4 in some lines, but even better I say something like pawn to g4. Sorry, pawn to g5. Why pawn to g5? Pawn to g5 is more like a clear and sacrifice, you guys. Or somehow enticing white to take on g5 with his knight so that I can go knight g4 next and pressure the h2 pawn. So this is all that I'm thinking, you guys. Learn to make plans before you make a move. So g5, knight takes, knight g4, and then pressurize the h2 pawn once my knight sits on g4. Okay, so pawn to g5 makes a lot of sense to me. Besides, I can go g4 next. Okay, rook e1. Rook e1. What can I do? Okay, I need to defend my g5 pawn. I can't go knight g4, and I can't play pawn to g4. Yeah, because if I play something like g4, it's going to play knight e5 like this. So knight f7 makes a lot of sense here, guarding my g5 pawn and also eyeing the e5 square. So b3, preparing for bishop b2, I guess. But here I think I can just push my pawn. Yeah, bishop b2, that's already a mistake. I believe this is not how the real Ruy would play this middle game. But anyways, I understand these bots were designed in a way to fit human strength, but I guess not good enough up to the standard of Ruy himself. So the bot played h3, giving up the knight. So now I'm up a piece, right? Yep. Queen takes, attacking my rook. Yeah, my initial idea was to put my queen behind the rook. So queen h6. And then I'm also thinking of sacrificing my bishop on h3. There we see pawn to c4. Pawn to c4. Can I sack my bishop now? Or maybe, yeah, I play something like knight g5. Knight g5, attacking the queen and just sending more pieces to the king side. Now it makes sense for me to sacrifice my light squad bishop on h3. Oh, wait a second. If I play bishop takes h3, white will play something like pawn to f4, attacking my knight. So maybe it's better to sacrifice my knight, because if knight takes h3 and pawn takes, I'll play rook g5, pinning the queen. Yep, I'm winning this. Pawn takes, then rook g5, pinning the queen. Gotham is saying you're just going to attack my king, no dinner first. Interesting. Rook g5, pinning the queen, and then h4. So I can just take the queen and go on to win the game. I mean, what else? Let's check. He's saying I don't need a queen anymore. I have no idea how I'll get back into this game, but I'll find a way. Really? I don't even have to take the bishop on c3, you guys, because I'm just gonna help white to develop his knight. So the move here is something like queen d6. Yeah, queen d6 is a nice tactic, so that I can take on g3 with check and then win back my bishop. Yep. King h2. Now, should I go bishop g4? Or first of all, push pawn to d4. Yep, just avoiding some unnecessary trades. And then this is when I can develop my last squad bishop. It makes sense to do so. Yeah, bishop g4, freeing up my bishop. Pawn to c5 by white, attacking my queen. I guess I can just take the pawn, or probably just go queen h6. With queen h6, I have ideas of going knight d7 and castle long, then send more troops to the king side. I don't mind giving up my e pawn. There we see rook e4, by the way, which is a blunder because that allows me to go bishop f5. Yeah, bishop f5 is strong because I'm just gonna win a free piece at best, or at worst I'm gonna be up an exchange up. So take the rook and then go bishop e5. Yep, so bishop takes, I guess bishop takes, then bishop e5. Next I want to take on h4 with my queen. Okay, there we see king h3. Now I can safely castle long, I guess. I need to recruit as many pieces as I can, or rather sending them to the king side where my attack is. Okay, pawn to a4 is a sheer waste of time. I know the board is trying to play rook a3 on the next move. Yeah, if I play rook g8, there is rook a3 there. So how about the move queen d6 check first? Yep, the idea is to put my queen on g4. Yeah, so king g2, queen g4 makes a lot of sense. If rook a3, I'll take the light squad bishop. Done. There we see knight a3, another mistake. I think I can just take the free bishop now with check. So queen takes bishop, check. Yep. King g1 calls for bishop takes g3. Or before bishop takes g3, let me play rook g8. Yeah, this is what we call reinforcing, you guys. Oh, Gotham is saying, yeah, you have me, assuming you can calculate X moves ahead. Okay, there's something like a mate in 3 here, if not a mate in 2. Mate in 3, I think, beginning with something like queen f3 check, and then bishop takes, or rook takes g3 check. So queen f3 check, and then bishop takes, or rook takes. So queen check, yeah, king g1, then rook takes on g3 check. Yeah, this is checkmate. So I'm now waiting for Levy bot to say something or a joke before I checkmate him on g2. Or let me just checkmate anyways, no wasting time here. What do I think? I think it is true, this board was designed to, play Levy's Vienna Gambit with white pieces. That's just my opinion, by the way, it's not a fact. To prove this, let me try to challenge this board again and again in order to see its other responses against my Fianchetto Gambit. So let's go again before I play against a real human opponent this time. Right, so here we go again, pawn to e4. So let me start with g6, my Fianchetto Gambit, hoping to see pawn to d4. Now there we see the bishops opening again. So let me just cancel this and see what else this board can do against my Fianchetto Gambit or against a modern defense. So pawn to e4 once again, hoping to see d4 after g6. So g6, f5 next, hoping to see d4. Bishop c4. Right, let's try one more time before I play against a real human opponent using this same Fianchetto Gambit. Let's see what else this board can do. So rematch. Again we have pawn to e4. Let me start g6, hoping to see d4. Please play d4. Bishop c4. Okay, done. Now, I know some of you guys have a lot of questions about this gambit, so if you want to learn more about my Fianchetto gambit, simply watch my tutorial video that has popped up in the card above, or head to the comment section and find the link to my Fianchetto gambit playlist. So now it is time to play against a real human opponent on chess.com to see how they can respond to my Fianchetto gambit. And I'm doing this for the very first time, by the way, you guys, here on chess.com. Also, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and check out my E5 defense course, which is still free at the moment, and we are still working on it with my team. So before we put a price on it, be sure to check out that free E5 defense course. Right, let's go. Game number 2 against a real human opponent now. So E4 again, let me go pawn to G6 and F5 later on. My Fianchetto gambit, also known as the modern gambit, by the way. Finally, there we see D4. So that's how humans play. So now D5. The idea is to go Queen D6 next after retaking on G6. Yep. So Queen D6. Yeah, Bishop D3 first. Queen D6 not only defends the G6 pawn, but also stops Bishop F5. Sorry, Bishop F4 by white. So that's why Queen D6 is important to play in this position. Queen D6 protecting my G6 pawn and also stopping Bishop F4. This is how humans play. Okay, Knight to F3. Knight to F3 allows me to play Bishop G4, and I'm not even scared about pawn to H3, by the way. If pawn to H3 is played, I'll just develop my Queen's Knight, knowing that white can take my light squared bishop. C3 is a very passive move. Now I can develop my Queen's Knight on D7 instead of developing it on C6. So Knight D7, preparing to castle long next, and pawn to E5. Okay, Queen C2 is a tricky move. It puts more pressure on my G6 pawn now. I think I can just forget about this pawn and castle long. Yeah, besides, after castling long, I have pawn to E5 as well. Let them take that pawn. I don't need any of my kingside pawns in this gambit, you guys. Now pawn to E5. If pawn takes, I'll take back with my knight. Let me even pre-move this, like right now. So if pawn takes, knight takes. If H3, okay, yep. Okay, I didn't see all these things. Okay, bishop check. Let me just move my king to B8. Yeah, if bishop takes, I'll take back on G4 with my knight. Deal done. So bishop takes, knight takes G4. So I'm very comfortable in this position, you guys. I can't complain. Life is good. Yep. So next I'll play rook E8 check or go knight H6. Okay, what is that? Bishop E3. Honestly, that's clearly a bad move. It allows me to isolate that pawn. So knight takes. What is my opponent's rating, by the way? 2034. Well, I didn't expect a 2000 rated player to respond like this, and I do not mean to insult, by the way. There are just certain moves that 2000 rated players make besides these. Anyway, right now I'm attacking the pawn on E3 with my rook. White needs to do something about this, I guess. Something like king F2. Because what else? Yep, there we see king F2. Now, I think I can play bishop H6. Sticking to my main plan. Or maybe develop my knight instead of bishop H6, right? Like knight H6, because knight H6 has a meaningful continuation. Knight G4 check next. Even after pawn to H3 is played. In fact, I'm waiting for white to play H3 so that I can go knight G4 check. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Because now knight G4 check, even if pawn takes, I can take the rook. Yep. So rook takes H1. Eye of an eagle. You need to subscribe to this channel if you also want to have the eyes of an eagle. There we see pawn to F4, a desperado move. I mean, what else can white do? I think this is the best time for me to develop my dark squared bishop, or go bishop H6 or bishop D6 first. Yeah, bishop D6 looks more promising, attacking that pawn and that other pawn. Besides, have bishop C5, you know, pressurizing the E3 pawn. Yeah, I'd rather go bishop C5 on the next move than going home. Okay, queen D2 by white, bishop C5. So bishop C5 is better. Yeah, you guys, it's better to go bishop C5 than to go home. What a poor me. Elbow language. Okay, queen takes. So knight d4, queen takes g4. Fair enough, right? So next I'm planning to play rook f8, check. And it's just a matter of time before checkmating my opponent, by the way. So there we see queen e2, but I can still go rook f8 check first, or queen h4 check. Yep, this makes more sense since I have rook h2 next. Or in case of pawn to g3, I can just go rook f8 check, yeah. Okay, g3, rook f8 check, this is what I'm talking about. And now checkmate is unavoidable, obviously. I can mate either on h2 or on h3. Which one is more painful? Yeah, queen h3 checkmate. Yep. Right. No rematch. Now I would rather go home than going bishop c5. It's time to go home. Once again, be sure to check out my free e5 defense course on my Patreon page or on my official website www.casperchess.com, and you can also check out my other courses. It's not much of a stretch. You're here to learn chess and not to play. Let me know what you think about this, and until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.